Here is, and if you're an Alabama fan, which it looks like you are from the emojis in your name, you're probably going to hear this because Hugh Freeze says he should have beaten Nick Saban
Mm.
4 times. Here it is.
How did 4th and 31 impact your life?
Go, Marty.
We got to coach better. If you're not accountable through the week and little things, it will show up on 3rd down. It'll show up on 4th down. And so some of that fault is the culture. Some of it is coaching. Maybe we didn't coach it good enough. Not winning that game sucked.
Mm-hmm.
It was disappointing, hard, but at the same time, I didn't think our roster was as good as theirs. And it gave me even more confidence that Auburn can return to one of the top programs in the country pretty fast, because we went toe-to-toe with them and should have won the game, truthfully. But so it was a mixed bag of this is awful.
Gotta finish him, Hugh.
We
Wait, hold on. What's up? What's up, Aaron?
You gotta finish him.
Yeah, I mean, look, but he's not wrong though, right? Like, I think it's
100%.
a pretty good way. I think it's a pretty good way to frame it, in that it had to be really devastating.
Yes.
I mean, you were going to be a hero. You were going to be a made man. You would have been 3-3 against Nick Saban for your career, and it all evaporates. You end 7-6. Fans are hideously angry because you tease them, and you lose. You finish 2-4 against Nick Saban. So, as devastating as that loss is, I do appreciate the spin zone of focusing on, honestly, our roster's not close, because it wasn't.
Hell no.
And yet we had them beat. Like, yeah, that's not a bad way to spin it in your head. But all right, let's continue.
We can play with them.
Now that Saban is retired, I can ask you this and you can actually answer it. You were one of the people that always gave him hell every time you played against him, whether that was at Ole Miss or Auburn. Why? What do you think? What do you think you maybe understood that someone else might not have?
Well, at Ole Miss, it was certainly, I think we were one of the first staffs to bring in the tempo RPO world. He didn't like that at all. He tried to get it changed and all of that. And then he started doing it. Right. But and he's a good friend of mine for sure. But I did understand what complicated their calls. I mean, we honestly, Nick is incredible, but I should have 4 wins against them.
This is a step too far. To be completely clear, this is a step too far.
He takes it back a little bit. He takes it back.
We'll allow him 3-3 because absolutely 4th and 31. Yes, that is one of the few times where I think should have won counts, and it's such an outlier that you can't because you got to remember, some of the games that Ole Miss won, some crazy shit happened there as well. Like some crazy lucky breaks that went Ole Miss's way, but we'll give him 3-3. Hugh, I cannot give you 4-2.
We beat them twice, and we had them 24-3 the 3rd year, and I wasn't smart enough to slow it down. And then last year, easily could have gone our way. So I mean, I may have not phrased that exactly right. I don't want everybody, but we easily could have beat him a few more times.
That said, I don't remember him being up 24-3. That's insane. After beating him twice.
I'll tell you what, last year, like I said, there was, I would say, maybe even more of a significant talent gap between where Alabama was and Auburn was compared to, previous wins. Like, that was impressive. I mean, there's true. Like, there is a sense and should be. I just think the problem is the loss the week before just puts even more of a damper on it. Like, if you would have won the week before and not had that crazy loss to whoever the hell that was, then I think people would be like, okay, we did accomplish that. Should have beat Alabama. Crazy play with the talent deficit there. But then you remember back to the loss the week before.
No,
that you're like,
I kind of think New Mexico
maybe
State
it's more of a lucky thing.
I think New Mexico State's completely irrelevant because
I don't think so. You can't lose to New Mexico State. Then
if you win that Alabama game, nobody gives a fuck.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. Like, you had to win it. You lose it.
No, but the pain of the Alabama loss is such that still nobody, like, maybe eventually you're like mad and you're like, and we lost to New Mexico State, but you're really just fucking pissed because you lost to Alabama when you had them dead. You had them
I'm saying
as
you could
dead as
spin
we
it.
ever
You
see.
could spin it and say, yes, I'm upset that we lost to Alabama. I get that. But we had this talent gap and we still were a play away from beating Alabama, a team that was eventually in the playoffs. You can't spin it as well knowing you lost to New Mexico State the week before.
I can, just because you also played Georgia well. And so I can say the New Mexico State game was just an abject disaster, but is kind of irrelevant to the season as a whole.
Both those games were, as we know, both those games were in Jordan-Hare. Georgia and Alabama.
I can't believe they lost 31-10. New Mexico State also in Jordan-Hare. That's wild. Bo Molnari says, I kind of like you. I don't know why. Maybe I think he's just hilarious in a relaxed setting. I got to say, on an interpersonal level, Hugh's been incredible to me. He was at Ole Miss with that Ogeron back in the day when I was being recruited in high school. And the stuff that he still remembers when you see him, how kind he is, it's kind of crazy. So I've gotten my jokes off at Hugh's expense. No doubt. Everybody has. But I like him personally. Me.
I did too. Always a great interview.